In this tutorial, I'm going to be walking you through the ATS dashboard component of the ATS chart map indicator. It's located right down here in the bottom left corner of your screen when you first load the ATS indicator. Now, it's very simple what this does, so let's go through each readout and explain what that is. So the first thing we're going to cover on the dashboard here is called the spread. You can see it's fluctuating 1.1, 1.40. You can see that it changes in real time with price. Now, the simple explanation of what the spread is basically it's a markup. It's a commission that you're paying to the number one, the market maker who processes the actual order, matches it up, or takes it in-house. So they mark up the price. And then also there's a combination of what the broker marks up the price as well. So the broker would be like IG or Forex.com or FX Choice or Owanda. Whoever you open your account with is going to add a little bit to this as well, so they get compensated when you open a trade. And they send it off to the market maker. Now the spread right here, this is what it is in real time. It says 1.4 pips, but it's also represented between these two lines right here. If you enable your chart to show the bid and the ask price, then you can see the difference between the spread there. And basically what that means is if you buy, the price is going to have to move that far in order for you to actually cover that commission, cover that spread. If you sell, same thing. It's going to have to move that far before you're actually in the money. So what that is, it's just showing you the real-time spread, very basic information, nothing proprietary about that. Okay, so we're going to combine the next two pieces of the dashboard, which are the pip value and the margin requirement right here. And this is very straightforward. The pip value is going to be translated from what is typed into this box right here. So this would be the lot size that you want to trade. So let's go ahead and change this around a little bit. So right here it says 5.00. I'm going to change that to 1.00. So if I type that in, notice what happens to the pip value here. Okay, it goes to $10. So that means that you're going to be making $10 per pip. Now let's change it one more time. Let's put 0.50. Click right here. Now it changes to $5. So what it's telling you is that whatever you type in here, that's what you're going to make per pip that the market moves. And then that's what you would want to type in up here as well. So you got to make sure that you change both of them. This is where you do the calculation, but this is where you actually enter your trade. So you want to make sure that it reads the same thing for what you want to trade. So we'll put 0.50 if that's what you would want to put in there. And then you know that you would be making $5 per pip when you open that position. Right here on the margin requirement, what this is going to do is it's going to look at the leverage in your account and it's going to calculate based on the broker's requirements what margin is required to open that position. So based on this is an account that has 200 to 1 leverage with FX Choice. If we type in 0.50, that shows us that we're going to make $5 per pip in the Euro USD pair, and that you need a minimum of $283.04. And you'll notice that changes a little bit as the price goes up and down, because it goes up and down with the live price. So that tells you exactly what you need in your account, and so you always have that information right there on the fly as you're adjusting your lot size for your different money management requirements, depending on what the opportunity calls for. So the next two things we're going to cover on the dashboard are the open positions value and the session P&L. These are, again, very straightforward. The open positions value is basically when you enter a trade. We'll go ahead and open a trade right here. The minute that you're in that trade, you are going to get right here, it says open positions value. It shows that that's the spread that we're down, the negative $5 for $4.50 right in there. So that's going to show you the value of your real-time position that you're in. So without having to get into your account settings on the terminal, you can see your open position value right there in front of you, just really convenient. Okay, so now that I've closed that trade out, now you can see down here on the session P&L, it says negative $2.50 because I just closed it out right there. So what this is going to do is it's going to keep track of how much you're either up or down for the session. So you'll always have a real-time readout. So if you're trading, say, the London-New York session, you want to know how much you're up for the day. It'll read that out right there. Or if you're down a little bit, then it'll show you that as well. Now, one other thing I'm going to show you regarding the session P&L is how to reset it. I know that some of you may be doing more short-term trading, so you're going to want this reset to 0 on a daily basis. But for those of you that are doing longer term trades, may want to see what your session P&L is, let's say over the course of a month. So what you want to do is you want to just open the indicator. I'm just going to double click on the candles here. Right here it says choose session reset period. That's what that does right here. So right now it's set to 1 day reset. So the minute that you get a new daily candle, this will go back to 0. But you can go ahead and change that to 1 week or 1 month, depending on the time frame of the trades that you're looking to trade. So you can change that as you need it for whatever suits you. The next thing I'm going to cover is the risk percent input box, which is right here. This is also represented by these green lines on the top and bottom of the live price as well. So let me explain what this does. So this is pretty straightforward. The risk percent works in conjunction with the lot size box input. So let's say that you want to trade, right here I have 10 standard lots, which would be $100 per pip. Let's say that that's what you are intending to trade. Okay, so the first thing you'd want to do is go up here and make sure that you put in the same thing in this box up here so that you're actually trading that amount. So there you have 10 standard lots, so that matches up. Now, as you open trades, standard is you never want to risk more than 2% per trade that you open. That's just kind of good common sense in trading. So you can say, I don't want to risk more than 2%. So you put 2.00. What that's going to do is it's going to go over to these green lines here, and it's going to show you if you sell the market, let's say you sell at 10 standard lots, you would need to put your stop loss right here at this green line, and that would be a 2% drawdown for that single trade. So as soon as you get in that trade, you'd have to move your stop and put it right there. Now let's say that you buy the market. That means you would have to drag your stop and put it right here. It would be the same thing. So it's always showing you 2% from the exact price. And then right here next to it, you can see it says negative 1823.14. So according to the real-time value of the account, it's going to tell you the exact dollar amount, or roughly the dollar amount you would lose, depending on the exact placement of your stop. That's what you would be risking if you got in that trade. Now let's say that 2% is just a little bit too much for you. So let's show you how this changes. If you just highlight it there and you put 1.00, now that's going to show you 1%. So notice as soon as I click this, how these green lines change. So let's click it. Now it settles in there. There. Now that's showing you 1%, and now it's showing you a readout of negative 911.57 is your 1% downside, providing you put your stop exactly at that level. So what I'm going to do now, just for a quick example, is I'm going to sell the market right now. And then right now you would want to, because you're expecting it to go down, put your stop loss right at that line. And that shows you where that downside is according to 1%. Now, if you are running on a standard computer screen, even like a 27-inch monitor, this is usually set. You're not going to have any problems with the readout. But if you are running ATS on, say, something like a Microsoft Surface or a smaller, like tablet-sized screen, then what could end up happening is when you load ATS is that these are going to be kind of all jumbled up and covering each other. And what that means is that you need to resize the dashboard. So it's pretty easy to do. What you can do is just open up the indicator or just double click on the candle here. And then when you do that, right here it says dashboard title font size and dashboard content font size. So the title font is the font size of the dashboard, and then the content font size is the readouts down here. So all you have to do is change those to a size that fits, and they'll resize. So I'm going to go to the default size, which is 12 points here, and then 10 points right here, and I'm going to hit OK, and you'll notice that it goes right back to normal and fits perfectly. So if you are running a smaller screen or maybe a bigger screen with bigger resolution, you can play with those font sizes to make sure that that reads out in a way that's legible and that you can see. Now, I know you may be thinking, oh, that might be a big pain if I have to change that font size every time I load the indicator. What you can do is you can actually, once you get it set the way that you like it, you can actually save it with that exact setting as a template. So once you get everything the way you like it, just right-click on the chart, go to Templates, go up here to Save Template, and then you can just save it, and it'll store all those settings, and that way every time you apply that template to a chart, you won't have to adjust those font sizes, and it'll be exactly how you like it. So the last thing I'm going to talk about in regards to the dashboard is the actual showing of the box. If you're running multiple time frames like this, like you're running an entry time frame and your directional bias time frame, which is what most people using this system are going to be doing, then you really have no need to see two dashboards because it's kind of redundant information. I mean, you can if you want to, but you don't need to. So what you can do, if you just want to have the dashboard on your entry time frame, it's very simple. Go to the time frame that you don't want it on, just open the indicator, or you could just double click on the HA candle. It'll bring up the indicator box here. And if you go to display dashboard, you see this input right here, it says true. All you have to do is double click, go to the drop down and click false, and then hit OK. And then that'll reload the indicator with a no dashboard. And that way you get a little bit cleaner screen. You don't have the same information on every single one, and just makes it a little bit more readable and less complicated.